call here. Guess what? We have a firearm to talk about. Now this one I've had for a while. I've had a couple of problems with it, but all in all it's kind of worked its way out and became a reliable firearm, believe it or not. This is an offering from Taurus. This is the TH9C. They make two different versions. This is the compact, and then they have a full-size version. I believe it comes in 9 and 40, and then you can have some different colored frames to it. So there's a couple of options there. Been a good gun. The first shots I took with this gun, it's on the channel somewhere down there. Go look for it. I had a couple of problems with it. I think I had some stovepipes and then some really erratic ejection. Please forgive my heat that just turned on, but it is 4 degrees out. So I did have a couple of quirks with it, but it seems to work itself out. I shot this gun a couple of days ago, ran a magazine or two through it, and it shot fine. Ejection wasn't back into my eyewear or back behind my glasses, so that's always a plus, especially at the range. So it seems to work its kinks out, and it's become a reliable gun, believe it or not. Taurus is notorious for the quality control issues that they have with their firearms. I know back in the day they were really bad. Their revolvers seem to be reliable for the most part, but their striker fired guns seem to have a lot of problems. Recently, now that they've kind of changed direction, that company has been pretty good, and they've put out quite a few reliable firearms, which would be the PT-111 G2, the second version of that gun. Really reliable gun. I hear the G3s that just came out are really good guns for the money. Again, these are budget guns, so you have to expect problems because it's just the way it is with budget guns. The options on this gun are pretty good. There's no round in there. But you can take a look in there. But looking at this gun, a lot of options for it. It's got the rail system down here. You put a lighter laser on it. Single double action, safety decocker, and on this other side for you lefties, does have a mag release, but the other options are still on the right or on the left hand side. So you kind of get screwed out of that part. All in all, pretty good gun for the money. 3-dot sight system. They do look like they're dovetailed in there, so you probably knock them out and put some different sights in there, whether it be XS or some True Glows or whoever makes some aftermarket parts for it. But what I really like is the safety decocker, because you can either carry it cocked and locked, or you can decock it and then put the safety on there. Pretty good option. A lot of people are carrying striker fire guns, man. That's the name of the game. It's good to change it up once in a while and get yourself a hammer fire gun. CZ makes some outstanding hammer fire guns, and their striker fire guns are good as well. So this is just another little option you can look at if you can't kind of jump that scale and get those guns. This one's pretty good for the money. If you don't like rough texture on your firearms, you might have to sand these down, because it's rough texture all the way around from the back strap to the side panels to the front. Does have some finger grooves in there, so if you don't like aggressive stuff, it kind of irritates you carrying inside the waistband, you might want to sand that down a little bit and smooth it. I like the aggressive texture. It holds well with my not so big hands. I can still manipulate the controls on the gun, which that's one of my pet peeves. If I can't manipulate the gun with one hand, then I think it becomes a problem, because I like to train with both hands, just in case my dominant hand, my arm gets kind of hung up there. I can still manipulate the gun with my left hand and reach controls if they were ambi, like this one's not. So I like to train with both hands. Takedown is pretty much Glock stylish, like most handguns are, with the 2 tabs. You pull it down and get the business in there and get it all cleaned up. But an offering from Taurus, this was This is pre-cough. When I bought this gun, I got it for about $3.19. I think that was the going market. Sometimes you could find these guns for about $2.99, which is a really good deal. I found this one at my local for $3.19. I had the choice of basically all of them were $3.19, whether they were in 40 or 9. So imagine that. And you could get different color frames. I think you can get this one, I call it Ghost Gray. You can get Poopy Brown, or I believe you could get black. So you had a couple of different options there. Again, you could get this in the compact version, which what you see here, or you could get it in the full size version. I decided to get it in the compact version because, you know, in the spring, fall time, I like to carry concealed a lot, just due to places not letting you open carry and things of that nature. And you know, there's a lot of people that are soft out there, so seeing firearms might make them a little hesitant. So it's just a good gun to carry, especially with the shorter magazine. I believe this is what, a 13 rounder. Yeah, this is 13 rounds, and then this one is it says 16 rounds in there, so I think I can get 16 rounds in here. So you got 16 plus 1 and then 13 plus 1, so capacity's there if you're a capacity kind of guy. Again, just be aware that that sleeve does move, so you're really going to have to pay attention to it, because sometimes that thing will get going, and I've tried to do a little quick reloads for it, and that's why I hate these sleeves that move. I like them when they're part of, or they're just hooked to the magazine, because it's not distracting, and you know, you don't want it up here trying to put it in your firearm if you got to reload. So just be aware of that. I might do something with that and take care of that so it will stop sliding. But other than that, it's been a pretty reliable firearm. I got a video on the channel of shooting this thing, and I wasn't too thrilled with it at that time, but the more rounds you put into a gun, you kind of smooth it out. And this has been one of those guns. Again, Taurus has been kind of iffy on their quality control, but ever since they kind of turned that company around, they've produced some pretty reliable guns, believe it or not. I know people that have $1,000 guns that don't run, and the majority of guns, especially my revolvers that I've gotten from Taurus, they've worked fine. So once in a while, you don't get a lemon, because let's face it, I've had some big name firearms that have not worked, and they've gone on to the afterlife to be somebody else's problem. But these guns have been pretty reliable for the most part, and I'm pretty impressed with it. I have seen some things with this particular model where make sure you check that hammer, because I've seen a lot of people where their hammer was kind of cocked to one side, or it was really out of place. So make sure you look over the firearms before you buy them. That way you can identify any problems. Again, this one hasn't had any real big issues that I couldn't deal with. The serrations on there are really aggressive. Again, the gun is aggressive all around for texture, and these little scallop serrations there, so you can get a good purchase on that firearm and pull the slide back. And then it gives you a little option for the rail to put a light or laser on there of your choice. So again, Taurus is a pretty decent gun for the money if you can find them. With the elevated prices in the market, again, I paid $3.19 for this gun. You're gonna have to at least tack on $50, $75, even $100 to what you saw, you know, pre-Rona to now post-Rona. So expect to pay a little bit more for a gun, regardless of what it is nowadays, because they are going up in price. Other than that, it's a pretty decent gun for the money. I really encourage you, if you can find one in your local, give it a good once over, look at the gun, make sure none of the stuff that I just described is going on with the firearm. Again, it does have a little beaver tail there, so pay attention to that, you monkey hand people out there, because it could come back and bite you. You never know. But for me, it fits my hand well. Good ergonomics. You got some good options for capacity good options for controls and single double action. So give it a shot if you find it. Alright, so with all that being said, I'd like to thank my old and my new subscribers, just people that jump through. I greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe my content. Hit that bell for more notifications. Greatly appreciate it. It helps me beat that algorithm and push further up from the disdain that YouTube has for guns. Do that with everybody you watch. Make sure you help those guys out as well and share their content. And like always, guys, we'll catch you on the next one.